Welcome back, everybody. The stuff Dad never told me.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed your Halloween. We're back to normal, just me and Kaden, right?
Yep.
Yep. Just making sure. You wanna be here, right?
Yes.
Oh, we got a loud car going by. The reason why I ask is because sometimes you don't seem to want to write questions. Why is that?
It's just hard.
It's hard to come up with questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Because all the
Okay.
other videos I wrote questions, and I'm starting to run out of questions to do in my brain.
Right, but I also said I didn't want you asking questions about me, but you could ask questions about me. I understand it's hard, and it's probably kind of stressful thinking of stuff. And I'm sorry for getting upset, but I just don't want to do the video unless you want to do the video, okay?
Okay.
I don't want to make you do the video, and I don't want you to do it because you don't want me to feel bad, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying, I don't want you to do it just because you think I'll be upset. Because it'll be all right if you don't want to do it anymore. Because it stresses me out sometimes. When I have to ask you, I don't want to make you, and it gives me anxiety to be on the camera by myself. So, do you ever feel like nervous being on the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes people nervous being on the camera, but it could also be fun, if you want to do it. And I just want to make sure you want to do it. So you do, right?
Yes, I do want to do it.
All right. Well, you did come up with some questions, even if it's getting harder. You could ask about anything in the world. So maybe just ask your mom for help, or ask other people for help, or maybe ask a friend at school or something. Or you could just think about it when you can, and try not to worry about it too much. Try not to overthink it, okay? But we're going to start. If you guys are new here, it's every week I have them write down some questions that I'll answer, And if I don't know it, then we'll look it up together. But that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and start. What's your first question, buddy?
How does a light bulb work?
A light bulb, I don't know how a light bulb works, but I know it was invented by Thomas Edison. And I know he tried like a whole bunch of times. He tried like 1,000 times. There's a saying that's like, I didn't fail 1,000 times. I found out 1,000 times how not to make a light bulb. But that was Thomas Edison. I'll look it up. How does a light bulb work? When electrical current makes contact with the base of the bulb, electricity enters and heats the tungsten filament housed inside. And when the filament heats up, incandescent is created, which is light produced by heat. So it gets hot and it produces light.
That's why when I touch a light bulb, sometimes it's hot.
Yeah, you don't want to touch a light bulb. It is pretty hot. And it could also catch a fire, so you want to keep stuff off of light bulbs.
Like stuffies or blankets.
Yeah, you don't put blankets on light bulbs or anything close to light bulbs. But that was a good question, Kaden. But yeah, Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, and now you know how it works. So here's a picture of it. So here's the tungsten filament, right? And that heats up. It's like wires. And there's gas inside it. That's weird. It lights up, and it heats up, and then that makes it light up, which is weird. I think it. Anyways, next question.
What temperature does water freeze?
Water freezes at 32 degrees, I'm pretty sure. It has to be under 32 degrees.
Me too. I think it's 32 degrees too.
Yep.
Yes.
It has to be under. Water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius and 32 degrees Fahrenheit. The freezing point is the temperature by which the liquid turns into solid. So now you know. Next question.
Are crabs poisonous?
Some crabs. Not all crabs, because we eat crabs. But I'm sure there's poisonous crabs.
I didn't eat a crab in a long time.
Yeah. Here, are crabs poisonous? Yeah, there's different species. There's a lot. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different species. Here's one that's easy to pronounce. Floral egg crab. The floral egg crab, green egg crab, pancake crab, a shawl crab is a species of tropical Indo-Pacific crab from the family Xanthidae. The meat of the crab is toxic, even if cooked, and consumption often results in death. So if you eat it, you could die. So if you're catching crabs, make sure it's not poisonous, because you can't eat all crabs.
Make sure you don't find that crab.
Yeah, make sure you don't catch that crab, because I don't know where it's located, but there's a bunch here. I'm not going to go into all of them, but crazy looking crab. Look at that one.
What the?
It's like red. It looks poisonous.
Look at the arm. It's different.
Right. A lot of animals, like reptiles and stuff like that, if they're poisonous, they're usually bright colors. So like the bright color stuff, stay away from most of the time. But it often means that it's poisonous. And like snakes, if they're poisonous, they have like more of a, not all of them, but most of them have more of like a diamond shaped head.
Yeah.
But
it's like what if it's like that? That's normal?
Like a rounded head?
Yeah.
Often it's not poisonous, but there are poisonous snakes that have round heads. So either way, it's best to just stay away from snakes. You don't want to mess with snakes. Okay, next question. I think I know this one.
What do you like better, apples or carrots?
Definitely apples.
Me too.
I like fruit better than vegetables, but we already went over there. So there's some good vegetables. I think my favorite vegetables is not spinach. I said that last time, but it's asparagus. Some people don't like asparagus, but I love asparagus.
What mine is.
What is it? You said last
Corn.
time it was spinach.
Corn.
Corn has like no nutrients. Like it doesn't really give your body anything.
Huh.
But it's still good, especially when you make that special corn on the grill. That corn we make sometimes.
Yeah.
With the chili powder. You get like lemon juice, chili powder, Parmesan cheese, and mayonnaise or butter.
Yeah, that's good.
And you like rub it all over it, and it's pretty good. I think it's called Mexican street corn. Look it up. You should try it if you never tried it. And what do you like better, apples or carrots? Comment below. Next question.
What is stronger, oak tree or a cedar tree?
I definitely think an oak tree because, well, I don't know. I'll look that up. What's stronger? Okay. I think oak. But I love cedar. Cedar has like a good smell to it.
I think it's cedar.
You think it's cedar?
Yeah. Because Axel's other brother is named Cedar.
So that's why it's stronger?
No, I just think cedar.
What's stronger, cedar or oak? Oak is a much harder, denser wood than cedar. Cedar is rot resistance. Oak is often used for floors, cabinets. So cedar is probably better for outside because it's rot resistant. That means it won't like rot away as
But
it will.
Oak is like for this.
Maybe. No, it says for cabinets and stuff like that, furniture. But cedar smells real good, and it's probably better for outside because it resistant means that it's harder to rot. It doesn't mean it will never rot. It will rot, but it just will take a longer time than oak. Like when something's water resistant, that means water doesn't affect it as much, but it still affects it. If it's waterproof, then that means it's like you could drop it in water. But water resistant, that means like if you get a little, like if your phone's waterproof, you could put it in water. But if your phone's water resistant, you can't just put it in water. It means like if it gets rained on, it'll probably be okay. But you can't just put it in water if it's water resistant. It's a difference. There's a difference between water resistance and waterproof. I know cedar is rot resistant. But what wood do you like better? I like cedar because it has a good smell. I don't know if you ever smelled cedar, but it's like a redwood. I remember that piece of wood I brought home one day.
Yeah.
It had that smell.
Yeah. Cedar.
And it probably smells like fat wood. Off of the Axel show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to smell some. I want to have some fat wood because that fat wood is good for making fires. It has like the sap in it. That's flammable, so that's why it's real good at making fires. Anyways, next question.
What is your favorite Christmas movie?
My favorite Christmas movie is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I don't know if you remember that one. That's where do you remember that one? Where the guy's like putting up Christmas lights and he keeps having problems, and then like the work didn't give him his bonus.
Wait.
And his brother's like staying outside in the RV.
Is that movie?
Yeah, I'll look it up.
The person just sub as an elf?
No, that's called Elf.
Oh.
That's a good movie too. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Comment below. Mine's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and then of course Home Alone. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Clock's ticking. What's your favorite? So this movie. Remember this movie?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Where he cuts down his own tree in the woods and everything.
Yeah.
That has to be one of the best Christmas movies. I just got a notification in my ear. But yeah, that's my favorite Christmas movie.
Well,
you figure out yours?
Yes.
What is it?
I think it's Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2? Okay. I wonder if it's still recording. Let me make sure it's still recording. Here, let me make sure it's still recording. I'll be right back. Yep, we're good. It's still recording. Alright, I just wanted to make sure it's still recording because one time it shut off on us. Next question.
What is your favorite thing about the holidays? To do.
My favorite thing about the holidays, I guess, family and food. That's what it's about. It's about, being with your loved ones and having a good time and eating good food. It's not so much about the gifts and everything, even though, that's a lot of people focus on that. It's more about
love and stuff?
Yeah, spending time with your loved ones and eating good food.
Well, what's your favorite thing to do on holidays?
Well, there's different holidays,
Well, what's your favorite thing to do? Wait, what's all the holidays?
My favorite
again?
thing is to get together with family, is to spend time with family and eat food. That's what you do during the holidays. But next question: what's your favorite thing to do in the holidays? See it?
Spend time with my loved ones.
Yeah, you're just copying.
Hey, no.
Kinda. All right. Next question though. It's all right.
Who ended segregation?
Wow. That's the total switch from those random questions. What made you think of that question? That's a good question. But
I know who did.
Who did?
I
'Cause
just
we're gonna
forgot the
find out.
name, but I still know who it is, but I forgot the name.
It says right here, despite Kennedy's assassination in November of 1963, his proposal culminated in the Civil Rights Act of 1964. President Lyndon B. Johnson signed it into law just a few hours after it was passed by Congress on July 2nd, 1964. The act allowed segregation and outlawed segregation in businesses such as theaters, restaurants, and hotels. So it was the president, Lyndon B. Johnson, who signed the paper. So that, I think that's who did it. But it says right here, on May 17, 1954, Warren read the final decision. The Supreme Court was unanimous in its decision that segregation must end. So the Supreme Court, which is, you know what court is, right?
Yeah.
That's like the government's court. That's like the top court, the boss court, you know?
Wait, are you saying court?
Court. Like, you know when you go to court?
Yeah.
And
Can I say it?
What?
It means before you go if the judge says if you're not gonna go to the prison or you are gonna go to a prison.
Right. It's not just prison. Like you could be fined. You could have to pay money to somebody. You could go on just all types of stuff. It's not just whether or not you go to prison, but there's often a jury, and it's like people who decide whether or not you're guilty or not.
Yeah.
And if they pick if you're guilty, but the Supreme Court is. Let me Google it for you so I could explain it to you the right way. What is the Supreme Court and what does it do? As the final arbiter of law, hold on, it went away. The court is charged with ensuring the American people the promise of equal justice under the law and thereby all functions as guardian and interpreter of the Constitution. Okay. What? Today there is one Chief Justice and 8 Associate Justices of the United States Supreme Court, like all federal judges. So I think it's like a group of judges that do it, that judge, and they decided to end segregation. But also, were you thinking about Martin Luther King Jr.? When you said, was that who you think ended segregation? He was a civil rights activist, and he was like a preacher, and don't quote me on this, but he's partially responsible for ending it because he led marches and protests against segregation. So you know who Martin Luther King is, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me Google Martin Luther King so you could. Martin Luther King Jr. That's him.
Oh.
Was an American Baptist minister, activist, and political philosopher. who was one of the most prominent leaders in the civil rights. So the civil rights movement was like a movement people were a part of to end segregation and to provide equal rights for black people, for African Americans. So it was like a group that was fighting against, segregation and all that. I don't want to say anything wrong and get something wrong, but he who was one of the most prominent leaders in the civil rights movement from 1955 until his assassination. Somebody killed him probably because they didn't want him trying to end segregation. They didn't want him talking about what he was talking about.
Wait, did somebody kill him through a car with a gun?
No, he was I think he was at a hotel.
Oh.
And yeah, it was a gun, but he has sorry, let me finish. He was a good person, but what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. Like he has a famous speech, and he had a dream where white and black people and all people were together, and that's one of his, famous, what he's famous for is him saying that he had the dream. A black church leader and a son of an early civil rights activist and minister, Martin Luther King Sr., which was his dad, King advanced civil rights for people of color in the United States through nonviolence and civil disobedience, inspired by his Christian beliefs and the nonviolent activism of Gandhi. He led targeted nonviolent resistance against Jim Crow laws and other forms of discrimination in the United States. So, you know what discrimination is?
No.
Discrimination is like not allowing black people to use the same water fountain, or not allowing black people to take the bus, like Rosa Parks, how she had to. Or no, discrimination is like treating somebody bad just because of their color. So he was against that, and the Jim Crow laws, which I don't want to get into that, but that was pretty much laws that were really unfair for colored people, and made their life really hard during that time. This is a touchy subject, Kaden, because if I don't want to get something wrong and upset somebody by not getting the history right, but Martin Luther King was and is, a great person and an inspiration for everybody. When you think about great leaders and great people, you think about people like Martin Luther King or John F. Kennedy, who was the president that started the bill to end segregation until he was assassinated. I don't want to get into all that, but he himself was killed too because he was trying to do good stuff. And there was it goes deep. I can't explain to you right now, but pretty much somebody didn't want him doing what he was doing, and that's why that happened to him too. But I don't mean to laugh, but I just don't want to go too far into it because a lot of people believe in different stuff. Okay? A lot of people believe different reasons why things happen. But it's really something that we could talk about for hours and go into for hours. But Martin Luther King pretty much started he was one of the first people that started the movements, one of the first big people that started the movements to in the civil rights to have equal rights and for African Americans to be treated fairly, just like everybody, just like white people, and that's why America is the way it is today, because of people like him. If not, then if there wasn't people like him, we'd still be like living separate, drinking out of different water fountains and going to different school. If people didn't stand up, like Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, um, there's plenty more. I don't want to miss anybody out, but people like even later on, people like Tupac. Tupac spoke about a lot of that stuff about African Americans being mistreated, and the way they lived and their culture. I like I said, I don't want to upset anybody, but and I don't want to talk out of pocket, which means I don't want to say anything I don't know. But they're great people. That's and if it wasn't for them, that's what it takes. People standing up. Like here, another person that was a great person who helped end slavery was not Martin Luther. He was Abraham Lincoln. That was one of our presidents, and he ended slavery. And guess what happened to him?
What?
Somebody killed him too. He was assassinated too in a theater by a guy named John Wilkes Booth. And I don't mean, I don't mean to laugh, but a lot of people that did a lot of good things, for some reason, ended up getting assassinated. And I don't want to talk about it right now, but it's just evil people, bad people who didn't want them doing what they were doing. They liked things the way they were. They didn't want people to have the same rights. They didn't want people to be free. Like bad people. So some people are just bad. Some people are just evil and they want to watch the world burn. Sorry to get all negative, but it was a good question, and there's a lot that we could talk about, and there's a lot you could learn about our history, and the history of African Americans and the people that helped change it, because there was white and black people that helped change in slavery and in segregation and get equal rights for colored people or African Americans or people of all colors, all the way until today. It's still going on, and there's still people that there's still bad people that still are racist and still are and there's systems in place that have been in place for a long time that discriminate against colored people or whatever, African Americans or what different ethnicities, which means different colors. But that was a good question, and I know your next question, so go ahead and ask it. That's your last question, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who was the first black president?
The first black president was Barack Obama. So, like we were talking about, what made you ask those two questions? Because you learned about Rosa Parks? Yeah. Well, if it wasn't for people like Martin Luther King and Abraham Lincoln and Malcolm X and even John F. Kennedy, or Rosa Parks, there wouldn't have been a first black president, and that was a big thing. This is him. That was our president. He was the 44th president, so he was the president before Um, no way. The president before Donald Trump, but the president we have now, it went Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Joe Biden. And there's a lot of it's deep, but there's a lot of tension between those different presidents. You know, a lot of people love Donald Trump, a lot of people hate Joe Biden, but everybody really, for the most part, everybody liked Barack Obama because he was the first black president, first African American president, or I would just say black president. I don't know exactly his where he came from or his ethnicity, but he was, I don't know. I think he was born in Hawaii. Yeah. I don't want to get into other stuff, but there's people that don't believe he was born in Hawaii, and there's some people that don't believe he was born in America, because Hawaii is about America. So some people, to this day, some people still hate the fact that there was a black president, or there is, there's no segregation and no slavery. There's still people today that would rather have it the other way. So there's still people today that hate, him or African American, black people. Sorry, you're so serious right now. It is a serious topic because it's not a topic that I would often want to talk about because I don't want to get anything wrong, but it's a topic that needs to be talked about. And there's people that helped. Everybody knows Martin Luther King, but not everybody talks about Malcolm X, and he was a big part of it too, and he was also assassinated. So I don't mean to be a downer, but it seems like sometimes that's what happens when you try to change big things. When you try to change the way things are, and it doesn't mean you shouldn't, because what's right is what's right and what's wrong is what's wrong, and you should always try to do what's right, even if that's scary, even if there's a lot of people that hate you. If you're doing the right thing, no matter what you do, people are gonna hate you. We'll be doing this video, somebody's not gonna like it, but you got to do it. You got to face your fears and do what's right. There's some people that won't do it. There's some people that don't do what's right. There's some people that do bad stuff because it's easy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's people that doing the right thing is harder, right? It's easier to do the wrong thing. So some people do that, but standing up and doing what's right, facing your fears, standing up against people that want to, cut somebody down or hurt somebody or talk crap about somebody is the right thing to do, because everybody should be equal, right? Doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter what color you're from. We're all humans, and we're all in the same world. We're in this together. We all are human race, and you should be proud about where you came from and your skin color, but it doesn't mean that somebody should treat you worse, or that you should think you're better than somebody, because everybody should be equal, and everybody, it says in the Constitution that we were all, made with equal, and that's not the proper words for it, but man, Are you enjoying learning about this, talking about this?
Yeah.
Because you're just sitting there like so serious, And I know it's a deep conversation, but it's a good conversation to have, And I feel like I feel like I'm just going on talking, and you're soaking it all in. But do you have any questions or anything to say about what I said or what I'm talking about? I know this is normally different because we normally just ask questions and answer the questions, but like I said, I want to start just talking, and this is a good way to start talking because this stuff is important, right? I mean, you didn't know questions?
What?
You don't have any questions about anything? None of it? All right. Well, we'll keep learning about this. Did you? Oh yeah. Did you like that Maniac McGee movie? Maniac McGee is a movie about segregation. And it's where this guy runs into this town that literally has a literal line between where the white people and the black people are, and he gets them to take away the line. You remember that movie that you watched the other night with the big knot ball, and where people eat a bunch of beans? The kid that runs. You were watching it out there, and I moved you in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's called Maniac McGee. I watched it in school. Did you like that movie? Yeah. If you haven't watched that movie, that's a good movie. And there's also a Martin Luther King movie that we watched in school. It's a like a cartoon. I forgot the name, but I'll look it up real quick.
Wait, is that the movie where his parents drive away and he's by himself?
No, it's a movie where people go back in time to see him.
No, I don't know that one.
And they run into him back when he was alive, and when he's like a teenager, he's like a young adult. Our Friend Martin, that's what it's called. We'll watch that movie because we watched that in school too. But if you haven't seen Our Friend Martin or Maniac McGee, these are good movies on the topic. Everybody should know this stuff. They teach it in school, but they don't teach enough. And you're learning, right? And I'm learning too. There's a lot I know, but it's hard to just think about all of it and correctly when we're on doing the show. But if anybody has any questions or comments, right down below, and hit that subscribe button. You want to keep doing these?
What?
These videos. You want to keep doing them? Okay. As long as you want to keep doing them, we'll keep doing them, and as long as you guys keep watching them, we'll keep doing them, right? All right. You have anything to say?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Chase that subscribe button and smash it to the ground.
Yeah, chase it. Where is it? Hey, is your refrigerator running?
What?
Is your refrigerator running? Is your refrigerator running?
No.
Oh, okay. Anyways.
Well, yes.
Well, you better go catch it. Hit that subscribe button and have a great day, night, whenever you are. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.